Big Z Reviews. Paper Girls is a new TV series that recently came out on Amazon, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I'm a big fan of the comics, and they did a really interesting adaptation.
Hey! Who's there?
What are you doing in my house?
What are you doing in my house?
I live here.
No, I live here.
That's her.
Holy shit. This is a psychotic break. A 12-year-old version of yourself broke into your house with her punk friends?
So the Paper Girls comics were written by Brian K. Vaughan, and this one, the creator of the show, is Stephanie Folsom. But I was with them. I pre-ordered them when they first came out. I have all the issues, and I really loved the show. But it's about these four paper girls that on the night after Halloween have to deliver their papers. Then it kind of shenanigans ensue because it's Hell Night or whatever. It's people, other boys trying to bully them and attack them, and then someone these two people that look almost like lepers kind of steal their walkie-talkie and to go after them, but they put themselves into this time travel war, and shenanigans ensue. And I will say that this is perfect casting. I love all the girls they cast look amazingly like the portrayals in the comic book. They look a lot like them. I don't know if it's from the makeup or the hairstyles. It's Cameron Jones as Tiffany, Riley Lai Nellet as Erin, Sophia Rosinski as Mac, and Fina Straza as KJ. And they're it's in the 80s, and so it's but then the show, the book is more at the same time I was watching the first episode and I was like, where are the future people riding dinosaurs and the giant mechs wrecking havoc and the giant spaceships, and I was looking for stuff. It's pretty epic when the time travel war, the people from the future are trying to prevent other people from traveling back in time and changing things. So they're the time police, and they're all in white, and they riding pterodactyls that they've modified. And no one speaks in English. They're speaking in they speak in broken English because that's all I say. In time travel movies, where you go back in time, you probably won't be able to understand the other person. And that's kind of that until they get a translating thing, and they do a tiny bit of that, but not really. I don't say it would be annoying to listen to people to speak in weird future talk whenever you see them, the ones from the future. So I understand why they didn't do that too much. I understand why. It would have been expensive to do all the stuff that happens in the comic, but at the same time, a lot of the stuff in the comics, they shorter scenes later on, there are giant mech fights, there are dinosaurs, there are it's hell yeah, okay, you're actually gonna do it. At first I wasn't sure if they were gonna do it, they keeping the budget low, but they do some of it. It's just not all the time, That's one thing I will say, though. This is not a direct adaptation. This is definitely, they do their own thing. They're more focused on the drama between the characters, and that when they time travel, they go to the 90s or they go to different times. They meet up with versions of themselves, and they go up to modern day, now, 2010s, well, 20s now, but they see the adult version of themselves. They see different versions, and they kind of meet up with them. They see what happened to them. Maybe one of them might have died, or maybe one of them might not be straight, or maybe there's a lot of stuff that they're confused about. And some people may criticize them, why are you not doing anything with your life, But and other people it's really interesting, and a lot of it was not in the comics, in the graphic novels, but it was so the writers it still feels like the comics, but it just feels that they're expanding it more, and they're focusing more on the drama of these characters and what it'd be like to see versions of yourself 10 years from now you know, like 10 years older, 20 years older, 30 years older, and you kind of see like what you've done with your life, and like, well, why didn't you do this? Like with a younger version, like, so it's really interesting. I loved it, but so I didn't. It's kind of this weird thing. It's like this is a project that I love and I've read, but I didn't mind them changing it. But they still got the themes of what happened, but they just kind of are focusing on different things than the comic might have focused on as much. Because, I mean, a comic, you have to have action happening. You can't have a whole comic just of them talking to their future self, you know? But this one does it really well, and it's written and acted excellently. And, like, but they still do they still have some of the big stuff, you know, so I still love that it still does what the comic does. And, like, so, like, I always wonder, like, because in the comic, like, I mean, they go, like, way back in time, like, to, this whole thing that the future people think that, like, you can get rid of junk by sending it so back into the past where it wouldn't matter, it wouldn't change the timeline. And there's, like, this character is, like, almost like the first woman, and, like, she's like, and the men are hunting her, and they're using random future things that they had sent back as junk. So it's like really interesting, and the characters go back there, and they also go way into the future, like to see. So like, it'll be interesting to see if this. I'm not sure if it's confirmed for season 2 or not, but if it is, it'll be interesting to see how far they go, how much they more focus on like the inner character things. But you know, I would really recommend this. And if you love the show, I think you should check out the comic, because they're very similar, but they are different. Like, there's a really interesting adaptation. But I give it like a 9 out of 10. But thanks for watching. If you want to see more of me, you can subscribe down below. Thanks.